best quarterback at OTAs yesterday from what I heard, and I talked to 20 people that were there.
Yeah.
Consensus best quarterback, Joe Flacco.
Okay.
Consensus second best quarterback, Shedeur Sanders.
Wow.
Consensus third, Dillon Gabriel. Consensus worst player at OTAs, Kenny Pickett.
Aaron, that is your narrative. Chris, get the hell out of here.
He just came in and said Aaron's right.
That's why I tell you not to read much into it, even though you guys don't listen to me. But we're just trying to get guys exposure to different concepts, those type of things. So we're not leaning into or worried about the order at this moment.
Because it's a good question to bait somebody into answering, and no matter how they answer it, it kind of makes the guy that's answering it look bad. If I say I don't want to be a mentor, I look bad. If I say I do want to be a mentor, then I look like an idiot that doesn't care about being good and playing football. I tend to try to be honest, and I've said I'm not a mentor. I play football. There's learning experiences, and I have a lot of experience, and I can talk on things, and hopefully they listen. But it's not necessarily like my job to like make sure they listen to me.
Man, I love this competitive spirit and everything that is going on with Browns OTAs right now. I have watched countless videos, I've done my research, and I kind of let some time pass. I know there are still a lot of OTAs and eventually training camp ahead of us, but this time there really are some real, trustworthy sources saying that Shedeur Sanders looks so good and looks like an NFL-ready player, even though we have only seen him in a practice setting. Kenny Pickett and Dillon Gabriel actually took the most snaps on the day. Joe Flacco was the first QB up against the Vets, and we actually have an official number from ESPN Cleveland to look at for how each QB did in terms of completions. Again, don't look too much into this. It's not the end-all be-all. Well, maybe for Kenny Pickett it is because he's awful. But Joe Flacco was 9 of 14 with a touchdown. Shedeur Sanders was 7 of 9 with 3 TDs. Kenny Pickett was 9 of 16 with no touchdowns, and Gabriel was 11 of 16 with 2 touchdowns and an interception. So Shedeur got into the end zone today the most out of any of the quarterbacks in the room, and he did it on only 9 throws. Practice setting or not, that's a number that stands out. And then Joe Flacco, there were multiple clips of him airing the football out yesterday. He put his rubber arm on display that we are all now pretty familiar with, and I love what he said in his press conference. He didn't come here to sit and be a mentor. He could have just retired and went on vacation if he was going to do that. He came here to compete and contribute to this team however he can on the actual football field. But yeah, Shedeur Sanders definitely dominated yesterday. He made some throws in the corners of the end zones where only his guy could get it, putting the ball away from the defender. He really showcased that same ability that he put on display all year long at Colorado. Here is the highlight tape of everything Shedeur did yesterday in case you missed it, because I know sometimes it's hard to find all the clips, or sometimes people make very misleading videos. One thing that stands out to me is his smoothness and how fluid he rotates his hips. He just looks so natural when he rolls back in the pocket and the ball leaves his hands. Pretty smooth and fast as well. People have complained about the ball tap, which is a useless critique because there have been so many great QBs that have done that. It's like a timing thing. And the reason why I'm spending so much time focusing on Shedeur and these practices is, one, just to state the obvious, the buzz is insane. But two is because these practices matter more for Shedeur than anyone else. His spot still is not guaranteed, so he had to come out and put on a show, and that is exactly what he did. He blew the so-called expected QB1 out of the water yesterday. Now for Joe Flacco, who seems to be Shedeur's main competition right now. Well, I shouldn't say competition because they are teammates at the end of the day and are working together, but they seem to be the best 2 quarterbacks on this roster right now. Here's a little compilation of the throws Flacco made yesterday. So yeah, Joe has still got it. He can still sling the football around, and honestly, watching some of these highlights even in just a practice setting has me pumped about what this quarterback room can be and can do. The Browns for 2 decades have not been able to find an answer at the most important position in the game, and I think the Browns can really get tricky and almost sort of use all 4 and use their strengths. When you need to get the receivers going and air it out, you put Flacco in there, especially in play action situations. When you're trying to manage a game, you put Pickett out there. Obviously, you want to give Shedeur a chance to see what he can do, and then Dillon Gabriel is a different type of quarterback as well, being a mobile lefty. I think the Browns can throw off opponents' game plans by using the strengths of all 4 at different times in games. But I know that is unlikely because quarterback is a rhythm position, and you don't often see teams mixing it up. But for the Browns, it's obvious something has to change. A new approach has to be taken. They literally have nothing to lose. If they suck this year, then great, because then they potentially will have 2 top 10 picks in next year's draft after the Travis Hunter, Mason Graham trade, which was just a great move in hindsight. They got so much value there. Alright, anyways, moving on, we got to hear from a lot of the guys after the practice yesterday, guys like Judy, Pickett, Flacco, and of course Stefanski. I played a few of his clips earlier, but here's a little more of the important things all of them said.
What's it like, coming in here and all 4 of these quarterbacks competing in a true battle? What's it like for you as a receiver?
I like it, because that's just making each quarterback get better, compete against each other, really drive them to really be the best version of themselves. So, you always want that as a quarterback.
Yeah, I think you just keep every competition the same. Like, you're really just trying to improve daily, learning a new system, playing with new teammates. It's just a daily process of trying to improve, and, all that stuff will just work itself out. Yeah, I felt like it was a good day. I felt like yesterday was a good day. I think we followed up with another good day, just working operationally and, buying into what the coaches want us to do and how we're supposed to break the huddle and operate and play fast. So I think it was a good first, 2 days of that, obviously, to watch the tape.
It's going well. Listen, it's the offseason. It's OTAs. It's fun to get back out there and actually play a little football again. It's funny. It's like every time I go out here in the offseason, I've done it a million times, but it's like there's a little piece of you that's like, all right, let's see if I still know how to read it and let it go and do all those things. So it's good to get back out there and start doing it again. I think it's a lot of fun. I mean, I actually, just from experience, I think they tend to get a little bit of a kick out of me just because I am 40 years old now and could be their fathers probably. And it's fun for me, too, in the same kind of way. I mean, they're young and they have a lot of life and a lot of energy and a lot of new things that kind of can keep me in the loop with my kids and all those things. It's fun. Everybody in that locker room, it's like we're all 25-year-olds just having the time of our lives. And look, we get to come out here and do this for a living, so why wouldn't we feel that way?
Man, hearing these guys talk just gets you fired up as a Browns fan. I am so ready for a change. I'm so happy for Shedeur that he's been dominating these OTAs so far because he's put in the work, he's stayed under the radar, he's ignored all the buzz, he's done all the right things. He truly deserves to be successful. It sucks what happened to him in the draft, but yeah, man, it is just a fun time right now. It's fun to cover these guys. I'm looking forward to what's going to happen over the next few OTAs, and then as we of course get into training camp, that's going to be a huge thing as well. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know what you thought about it in the comments below, and be sure to drop a like and subscribe, and also let me know what you would like to see next. And until then, I will see you all later.